Who can resist the delicate beauty of lavender? I'm visiting Glen Innish Farm, where rows of lavender and flocks of sheep create an inviting rural experience here in Kewaunee County. Owners Simon and Amber Hewitt started raising lavender on their farm in 2021. The plants are flourishing despite their proximity to Lake Michigan.
Lavender found us. We always say lavender found us. We did not set out to become a lavender farm. It was a day trip up north, and we fell in love with it, and we thought, well, let's try it. We put in our first 100 plants, and lavender loves this area right here. So lavender found us.
Yeah, and I think it was something that it was a plant that intrigued us after it found us, and growing something that is suited to the property really is wonderful to watch.
So we grow 3 different types of lavender. We grow a couple different culinary varieties. We use those in our teas and our spices. We also grow a high oil content that we distill to pull out the essential oil. And then we grow bouquets, which are the tall stemmed ones that create those really long spikes of lavender. I think what people get from it is the diversity in it. I mean, you can culinary, oil, beauty. It's such a diverse and versatile plant.
I think for me, it's definitely people's reaction to the lavender. You see people out here and it seems to bring a smile to their face. It seems to have a calming influence when they're out here. It's just a joy to see the people's reaction.
I'm not sure we've had a normal season yet since putting it in. So the varieties that we grow, theoretically, if all the stars align and Mother Nature is working with us, we should have bloom from the middle of June to the middle part of August. The first year that we put lavender in, I think we succeeded with that. The last 2 years, it's been a learning curve. This year we're really, really late. I'm thinking we're probably at least 2, possibly 3 weeks behind in our first blooms, which means hopefully that our U-picks and the lavender stays in bloom longer through the month of August. Normally by the first weekend of August, we're pretty much done with any of the U-picks and everything's harvested, and then we're down to just shaping the plants up for next year.
Yeah, it's been a unique year, and that's probably being extremely polite about it. But there's some advantages to it. Our field is very uneven this year, but lavender quite often has a very short peak season. I think it's going to be elongated this year. So for U-picks and people that are coming out here for that, it means that we will have some plants in peak for a lot longer.
Probably the best thing to do is just look at our Facebook page, and that's where you're going to get the most information from us. So Simon and I aren't from the area, okay? So I grew up in Montana, Simon grew up in New Zealand. So we don't have extended family around. We have friends that have become family though. And they are the first ones to volunteer on any busy day. They are supporting us with everything that we do. And not only, just moral support, but they're out here sweating with us as we're having to pick and weed and plant, and they've been right here with us through the whole thing.
Yeah, we've got 2 adult sons, and they don't live too far away, so when we need help, they're here. And as Amber said, we have a very strong friend group here locally that just love coming here, and we put them to work. They keep coming back, but we keep putting them to work. So yeah, that's been great, and we don't claim to be any sort of experts on lavender or anything like that. So a lot of what we've done is been a lesson in what not to do. So they've been here, there every step of the way to laugh and cry with us.
We're a lavender farm, but we're so much more than that as well. And this year we're trying a few new things with the decorative popcorn and the sunflowers and the wildflowers. So hopefully that, as it gets up and going, is another experience that people can enjoy while they're here. The trail, so we have the mile-long trail that walks through the farm that people love to take. Probably 80 to 90% of the people that come into the farm walk the trail.
We're really concentrating on families and having them come in, trying to be sort of a lower cost alternative. We don't charge for the trail. We don't charge to come into the lavender field. I think for families that are traveling, they see that as a big win for them. And it gets them here, and then once they're here, quite often they spend a whole afternoon here. It's become much more than just a quick stop to walk through the gardens. We started out being a lavender farm, but now I think we're a farm that happens to have lavender. We've got a lot of other things going on, a lot of other things that we're building on.
So, we have a farm store here on the property. It is open Monday through Friday, 10 to 5, and then Saturdays, 9 to 5, year round. So we keep events going. About every 6 weeks we have an event. We are both of Celtic descent. So my family is 98% Scottish. So we follow the Celtic agrarian will, the will of the year, which follows Mother Nature through the end of the season all the way through the rest period, and then you start planting, dreaming due again, and it's a circular pattern. So about every 6 weeks we have an event here that celebrates that part of our heritage.
The sheep started, they started out as a 4-H project. From there, it just kind of got out of hand. But I grew up raising sheep. Born and raised on a sheep station in New Zealand. And it started out, with 4-H, and then we didn't really have access to good lamb for our own consumption, so we started raising it for ourselves. And then during COVID, we started a farm store, and it went really well. And it's just kind of growing from there. We struggle to keep it in the store.
People will travel for it. We get people that come up once or twice a year and stock up on it from Chicago and Milwaukee, and we're starting to get quite a following of the lamb that we provide. So
technology's helped. The cameras were a game changer. Instead of walking up to the barn, now we can open up our phone, open up the app, and move the camera around and zoom in, and that was a big help. So technology has helped us a lot when it comes to managing by ourselves. Usually the first question out of everybody's mouth when they get there is, "Hi, are you Glen?" Which is not the case. So Glen Innish, in New Zealand, it is considered rather bad form to name your farm after yourself. Glen Innish is something, it's a Celtic name. The derivation of that is Glen is a valley or creek, pastoral valley, and Innish is a resting place by water, usually for cattle, but not always. So Glen Innish is simple, a pastoral valley, which is a resting place for animals.
We let the farm name itself. We didn't force a name upon it. And we knew that we wanted to stay true to our heritage. And looking around, it is a pastoral resting place. So it's exactly what we wanted it to be.